Okay, yeah, turn that off. Let's go. Let's rearrange stuff, get everything together, because of course we're doing a new Strat chat today. It is Friday, of course. I moved it to 4 o'clock today. It's a little abnormal, mainly just because um, Garrett is not able to be here, and I had weird things with my schedule, so I figured, hey, 4 o'clock works better, especially with Overwatch League. Don't want to compete with that, even though I still have 0 viewers at the moment. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're looking back at it and you're going, wow, this guy's a loser, you are right. So yeah, here we go. We are recording. We have the stream going. That's all good. Let me pull up this little document thing. So yeah, we're going to be covering accuracy. And first thing off is, well, also, I need to cover one thing. If you're watching on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube, if you have any questions, put them in the chat or in the comments below, and I'll answer them either live here or I'll answer them basically down the road when it gets uploaded to YouTube. I'll answer them, and yeah, I'll pretty much answer every question. I don't think we're gonna get an influx of people to where I can't answer all the questions. I would like to think that I could get to that point, but no. So yeah, let's go ahead and get going. So I'm going to preface this with saying that I am not an accuracy god. I know I'm doing an aiming guide, but I'm not the best one in the world. The thing is, though, is I've actually, like, gotten better quite recently, and it's because of some things I've tried. So I'll give you some tips that I've learned, some tips that I've heard, and some things that I do. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start out. We're going to be covering how to best aim. We're going to be covering sensitivity. We're going to be covering crosshairs. We're going to be covering tips and tricks, generic, hero specific, both ways, and also how to not get shot. And we're going to be plugging in another thing. But yeah, the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to actually be adjusting my sensitivity. And so let's go into the practice range. And there's a good YouTube video out there from this guy, IOStux, who kind of covers a similar thing that I'm going to pretty much. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick Tracer. And we're going to come out here and we are going to figure out my sensitivity. So the first thing you should do is, and you can do this if you've played for 500 hours. You can play this if you played for 2 hours. It doesn't really matter. You can play this on do this on day 1. It doesn't matter. So the first thing you need to do is you need to kind of calibrate your mouse pad. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put the mouse on the left side of the mouse pad and you're going to move it across all the way to the edge. And you should be able to do a 360. If you notice, I do a little more than a 360 degree turn. The reason why is because you'll usually have your mouse in the center, so it'll allow you to basically do a 180 on either side. And so it depends on, I kind of like to go above the 360, and it's because you're not going to max out your mat width. Because you're going to like hit your keyboard and fall off the edge if you get too close. But it's a possibility. So this is where I'm at now, and I'll go ahead and show you my sensitivity level. I'm at a 3.72, and that is down from my original of, I think at one point I was 25. And that's an interesting thing that we're going to cover, that we're covering as well, is drift of sensitivity. And so first of all, need to talk about what sensitivity does. So sensitivity mainly is just used for your comfort. There's not a best sensitivity for this is where you need to be or whatever. Most of the time, though, you want to keep within your mouse pad. Sometimes people have really good accuracy but can't turn around and get good shots. And so what happens is you end up people just like tunnel visioned, and that's where you get a lot of snipers. They're very accurate, but they're just snipers, and they use the entire mouse pad. So it's kind of interesting. Tracer and Genji off the top of my head are usually the ones that you would want a higher sensitivity on, and then other characters lower. I play all of them, so it really I like a generic. I like it a little bit higher overall, but we're going to cover some things. First of all, you need to adjust your DPI first and figure out your DPI. So for example, let's say usually the best DPI I've heard of is 1600 and above. I like 1600 because it's just nice and you don't have weird mice thing running around off screen, even though my mouse can go separately for Overwatch. But 1600, past 1600, you won't notice a difference, and the reason why is there's this thing called pixel skipping. And this is also referencing another video that if you guys ever seen from Taimu from months ago. And basically sat in this room and basically talked about pixel skipping. And the idea is if you look like right here, and I'm going to take my hand and gently move my mouse to the side. So you see how we're just slightly moving across. I'm barely pushing it. Now, if you have a lower DPI, what's going to happen is you're going to see it kind of be jittery. And that's kind of the idea. If you think of the crosshairs as a grid system, you can like pop, 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 pop and skip little points. And so what can occur, it hasn't been tested. It hasn't been thoroughly tested enough, so it's more of a myth. Granted, I had a weird mouse, so I'll talk about that. But the idea is it's so that you're not doing this when you're shooting and you're missing. It's so you can be more precise and just stay within here. You'll notice a tiny difference. I noticed it of where I went from missing every shot to actually hitting shots. My original mouse had a very low DPI setting and a bad tracker in it, and basically I couldn't adjust the DPI. It was kind of weird. It was a really old mouse. Bottom line though, I noticed when I got my new mouse that I had a ton of pixel skipping, and it was like night and day. I think my accuracy went up by 20% or 20 or 30%. I remember my basic accuracy was 20, and then I started averaging about 50 to 60. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. And then I kind of strayed from accuracy and stuff like that. But I'm back now. So yeah, we have tracer here and sensitivity. So let's go ahead and do a couple of tests. So the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out your like low range accuracy. So what you want to do is you want to have an arm movement. So this is arm movement. It's kind of shaky now. I specifically did this. I have not played Overwatch today at all, and when I turned on this practice range, it was the first time I turned it on today. So it's kind of decent. So right now I'm actually able to use my wrist on this, and so it's kind of a showing that my sensitivity is a little higher. Before I couldn't do this, I had to use my full arm, but now I can use my wrist, and it's just because movement's gotten a lot better. And so as you see, as I'm going out, you start moving less, and so the idea is you should do like slight hand movements here, and then wrist movements here, and then arm movements here, but that's not what I'm running into at all. The reason is because when you go into Overwatch and you start playing, your body automatically connects to a sensitivity, and you can have a close sensitivity level. So let's say, for example, my body feels like doing a 2.67 sensitivity, but I have it at 3 sensitivity. Technically, that won't affect me after I've played a while. And the idea is when I go in and practice, I'm slowly getting better at accuracy, and you can see like I'm now getting more used to hitting those shots, and the more I play, the more I get used to it. So you should really test out your sensitivity when you first start playing. So let's go ahead and do the method. I did get... Okay. So yeah, let me fix this. I just got a message, so... So the first thing you want to do is you want to record your current sensitivity, 3.72. And what you want to do is you want to get a calculator. So I'm pulling out the calculator on my phone instead of my calculator. And you can do one of two things. So IOStux recommends doing a 50% down and 50% up. I like doing 25 down, 25 up. And it's kind of weird saying. what you're going to do is you're going to take, we're going to use my method, 3.72 times 0.75. We get 2.79, so I'm going to record that on my computer. I have a Word document open, by the way. And then I'm going to take the old number, the 3.72, and multiply by 1.25. So this is giving me a 25% increase and 25% decrease in sensitivity. So I know that I'm going to want a lower sensitivity level. So let's go ahead and start with the higher sensitivity level. And it sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of one of those deals of figure out what you're missing before you actually do this. Okay, so we're going to go around and we're just going to shoot. And he recommends about 10 minutes. A lot of the times you can just notice immediately. And it's really just to choose which one you prefer. The higher sensitivity or lower sensitivity. But the reason why I do the 75% is most of the times, especially, I think the first time you want to do the 50, so it'd be you multiply it by 0.5, and then the other number is 1.5. But yeah, you can see I'm going through like a track right now, and the reason is because I'm just trying to pop around here. And I'm slowly trying to get myself to start arm aiming, because I have been doing a lot of wrist aiming. So that was a little bit of lazy aiming right there. So you can tell that I'm trying to get my arm to move, but it's more my wrist at the moment. So that's what I've been working on and developing that, which I've gotten better at. Yeah, so it's kind of lazy aiming there. So let's go ahead. And the other character I want to switch to is Soldier. So Soldier and Tracer. And the reason why is because they have... they fit the two different styles of aiming that is not projectile. So the idea is you don't want to be doing this with projectile. You don't want to be practicing aiming with projectile, really. The reason is because most of the projectile is just prediction, and sometimes you won't necessarily understand if you're being accurate or not, because you're having to predict a lot of shots. So yeah, you see I'm having a little bit of issues. So let's try the lower number. So the lower number is 2.79. You can do this on a notepad or something like that. And then I'm going to go through the same process I went through the last one. So let's go back to Tracer. Okay. So this is the one I'm really interested in. So we're going to double check. So I'm still... Let's try to get more arm movements in. Arm, there we go. Okay, that feels better on arm movements. So the idea with this method is you're getting an accuracy, a sensitivity that's more fitted to you straight out of the box. It does not affect how you're actually going to play after you've practiced. So if you practice on an absurdly high sensitivity, it is not going to affect you if you have the right sensitivity or not. If you practice for long enough when you play, so like if you start Overwatch and you're practicing for an hour until you get a good accuracy, then your sensitivity's off. Basically, a good sensitivity lowers down your practice time because your body is more attuned to it, and you have to basically recalibrate every single time. So I kind of like this. So let's, I need to move arm a little more. Feels a little nicer. Feels a lot nicer. And you'll just notice this. This is like, oh, yeah, that's better. And it doesn't have to be the best one. You just have to decide which one you like better. You don't have to decide which one you like, period. So let's go with Soldier. And so naturally, your Soldier gameplay is going to like lower sensitivity because long range. So you'll just like that a lot more. Yeah. Okay, let's do the 360 test again. So let's do... Okay, it's a little more than 360 still. That's what I like. Okay.
You don't want to go to war with me.
Okay, let's try really close quarters. getting cold turkey on the accuracy, and I'm not the best at accuracy either, so don't take my word as law with, like, if I'm good or not or stuff like that. I just gotten a lot better recently, so this is stuff I've been doing. If you have any questions, also put it in the chat, and I'll answer them live. Come on. Okay, so yeah, it feels a little low. It's a lot better though. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna now take the 2.79 number, and so that's the one we chose out of the two, and we're gonna multiply it by 0.75, and we're gonna get 2.0925, and then we're gonna do it again, 1.25, and we get 3.4875. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's try 3.49. Okay. So let's go back, restart again. So yeah, I'm just okay. So let's try. And don't feel like you have to get to the right sensitivity immediately. A lot of the times, and especially like with me, I've been playing for a while now. I think PC I've been playing for like almost a year now. I think, no, it's been over a year. Oh, well over a year I've been playing on PC. And so yeah, accuracy, I've just been adjusting over that time. So I don't have to have good accuracy when I first start or a good sensitivity. I just need to slowly work my way down. And so go with what's comfortable at the moment. You see, I'm kind of liking this. And then let's try 360 test. Yep, a little more. It's not too bad from what we had before. And you see it's only a point, it's almost like a 0.2 difference from the last one. Well, from my original. Which isn't really my original one, but most recent one.
I'm on a roll.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So yeah, play until you like get a feel for it.
We're all soldiers now.
Double kill.
That's feeling nice.
I don't play by the rules anymore.
There we go. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty nice about that one. Actually, not just nice about that one. I actually like that. So that's 3.49. I'm just going to adjust what I have up here. It's 3.49. Let's try... I think this one is the one I'm not going to like. 2.0925. Yep. And I think it's just because I'm not going to like it now, and then maybe later I'm going to like it. Kind of a deal. So let's... arm movement, wrist movement, wrist movement, wrist movement. And then... yeah, it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad, actually. You know what? I could probably get used... this is like arm aiming mode right now. I think this is close to what pros use at the moment. Some of them actually have a higher sensitivity, like Tracer or Genji players. This is more like McCree and Soldier level, so we'll probably feel... okay, quick swipe. Ah. Yeah, the current thing I'm working on right now is trigger discipline. So as you see, I'm kind of... I'm not hitting my mark, and I'm not stopping shooting. And that could technically be a problem. So yeah, that's trigger discipline. But, like, that. Of course, a lag spike doesn't help. Okay, let's look. Let's look at the 360 test. That's a little south of the 360. Let's try soldier.
We're all soldiers now. You got a lot to learn.
Also, feel free to jump back in between if you don't like one of the sensitivities you get, or you don't really know. And always do this with hit scan characters.
You don't want to go to war with me.
So, this is a test that I think I need to test out with a character that needs more spin around. So I'm testing this out with Genji right now to see how comfortable I am at moving. So I'm immediately noticing that I'm actually using my arm a lot more. And this might just be a good sensitivity for me to practice on overall. Immediate comfortability? Don't really know. And that's something that you might run into. So let's try this. So I feel like I'm completely beating up my mouse. Because I'm constantly lifting it up. So I'm noticing that if you notice, I can actually hit shots a lot better. Let's go back to the old sensitivity for, well, let's go back to this sensitivity for the Genji now. Let's see. So I think I might go more towards the route of the higher one. Just because I'll probably get to this sensitivity anyways. There we go. That's something I wanted to notice. Okay, that felt really awkward turning around. So let's try the 2.090925 times 1.5. No, not 1.5, 1.25. Okay. Let's try this number. So this one is higher. 6.2. So let's try 2.62. So I'm writing that down, 2.62. I'm thinking I'm crossing out 2.0925. And let's try this higher version. So let's try 360. Yeah, that's... Seems like the sensitivity that would be a 360 degree. So the reason why I'm doing this is because this is, if I picked the 2 number, this would have been the higher, what we would have seen as higher, the higher number, which I was already feeling like going to. The 2 number felt like the floor for my capabilities at the moment. And it's feeling pretty good. So, up close, let's try this. Also, practicing this transition is really good. Just practicing how... You'll also notice that if you're trying to do it, it's a little weird. What the heck happened there? Had a weird, almost lag spike thing happen. See, I'm having like near flick shots that are actually pretty nice. Like this.
Take that. Here you go. Locked on. Cracking.
So far, I'm kind of liking this. Okay, so I'm thinking definitely this is the sensitivity, so I'm gonna remove the 3.49, the 2.79, and we're gonna do the same thing with 2.62, and we can do this as much as we want to. 1.25. Actually, yeah. So let's do that one. 3.28. 2.62 times 0.75 is 1.965. Yep. Okay. So let's wait. 2.62 times 0.75. Yeah. Let's cut this one down a little bit. We can also... I'm almost preferring this. So I'm looking at 3.28, and I might test that one out. Let's test out the 3.28. 3.28. Let's test this guy out.
Double kill.
And stay down. Yeah.
The other thing is keep track of what your original accuracy was, and there's a chance that you might practice this a little too much, and what's going to happen is you get used to an accuracy that you actually shouldn't be getting used to until a while later.
Bombs away.
I misclicked. I have bomb on right click for ease of bombing.
Speed kills.
Okay, I'm kind of liking this accuracy a lot more. I think Streamlabs did it. No. Sometimes OBS switches to a different...
We're all soldiers now.
Double
Target down.
Okay, I'm liking this accuracy, actually.
double kill.
Okay, this is the accuracy. So 3.28. So let's remove 2.62. Okay, let's... How long have we been recording? Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop right now. And I'll adjust this down the road because, yeah, I am sensing that accuracy is getting a little bit better, and so I'm going to end up being warmed up pretty soon. So let's go ahead and walk through each character and accuracy with that character. Actually, let's go with crosshairs first. So the big ones to point out with crosshair-wise is, personally, I like dot crosshairs unless there's a bloom. And the main reason is just because I noticed that the edges of a crosshair actually like distracts my attention almost, and so I'm not really aiming for where that crosshair would be, and so that causes a problem. So that's my big thing, is I like dot crosshairs. With characters that I do want dot crosshairs, so like McCree, I have a dot crosshair. I have it on a green color, and that's just because green scientifically is known for popping a lot more. Farah, what did I do? What did I do with this one? I don't know why this... Oh, okay. Okay, I remember. So the dot, this was my personal thing. So the dot is for you'll hit, and the line is for knockback. Which, honestly, I know I want to be tracking the knockback, but again, I'm not...
Kill confirmed.
I kind of like it, yeah. I think that's why. So the line is actually the hit. Sorry. Splashback. I can't remember. AoE hit? Yeah, it's AoE. Reaper, I just have blooms, and this will act... It doesn't actually bloom, but it's just a circle. And it accurately represents like a mid-range shot, kind of on average, so it's kind of good. Of course, they change over time, so you might want to... I think... yeah, the bloom doesn't work with that one, but some of them do. So soldier's different. So this one's interesting. So let me show you. So it's a circle crosshair, and what I do is I turn this off and turn the center gap all the way down so it's a dot, and then turn the accuracy on. And what this will do is it will bloom out. You can see a tiny little bloom in it, so I don't get distracted by it, but you can see it if you look just hard enough. Actually, let's try this. There you go. You can see it. So it will actually show you exact bloom, and so you can burst fire at ease. So pretty nice there. Next character is Tracer. You can actually no Sombra. Sombra. I have bloom on. I don't have a dot. I'm just good with this. Same with Tracer, and the reason is because I like just seeing like where I'm gonna hit, and then judging for that, and then knowing that it's actually a little bit bigger. But for accuracy wise, with characters that have a spread, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want... That's not a good one. Let's pick the... Let's go back over here actually, where everyone's not moving. So what you want to do is, if you are aiming at the head, what's going to happen is there's a chance that you either go over or underneath on their head or to the side. And if you are on the neck, there's a chance you'll go over onto the head and underneath. So what you want to do is you want to aim a little bit lower around the neck area, and so you'll actually get more damage out than if you do this. Granted, if you're that close, it doesn't matter at all, and are hitting a hitbox the size of Montana, then you're okay there. Bastion, I have a similar thing set up. Now we have a bloom. Now we don't. That's because we do the show accuracy thing. It's pretty nice. Hanzo's default one's pretty good for learning. Again, it actually made me aim a little higher because mentally I was trying to center it to the screen, and so I just practiced and learned the drop and all that stuff, and so I can actually hit that. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It also helps if you have played games where there's arcing abilities or guns. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, I have that. Just a dot, like I said. There's some that people like where it's a crosshair with no center. That's pretty good. Widow is another one. You see,
One shot.
blooms out, but if I do this, it's just a dot. And that's because I like to see her bloom, but I also like to see the dot. And that sounded weird. Don't worry. Orisa, I just have that because her bloom does not change. Reinhardt, you can technically just have a dot. I just haven't switched over because it doesn't matter for me. Roadhog, yeah,
one-man apocalypse.
pretty much self-explanatory. Winston doesn't even need one.
Imagination is the essence
You can
of
probably just have a dot. I don't care. I don't get distracted by the crosshairs because I barely use them on those characters. Zarya, you can use her default one. Is pretty good because you can see the charge around it. Can't remember why I don't use the default one. Why do I not use her default? It's hard to default. You can get away with it either way. You always see the charge at the bottom, but you'll see that there's a little bar that fills up on her default one. So it's pretty good there. Ana is a dot.
Never stop fighting.
Lucio.
For what you believe.
This sphere is actually, if I remember right, it should be the hitbox for. Oh, they did decrease it, so I do need to adjust this. So let's go to Lucio. Circles. Off. So let's try 35. So what you can do is if you want to set this stuff up, you can adjust it. So yeah, 35 is good. Hitbox is right on the edge. Actually, no. It's a little bit bigger. Let's change that back. So yeah, I'm just going through here, and this is basically just finding sensitivity and all that stuff. Shooting for the neck. And there's also another reason why you shoot for the neck. It's because of crouch spam. So that's a good thing to know. So let's change this to 40. Let's get this really close. Okay. You can arguably just use a dot. I almost want to just use a dot. I think I might use a dot in the future. But at the moment, no. Couldn't be bothered.
Oh, turn it up.
Okay. Mercy, don't care. Mercy doesn't shoot.
Science will
Moira,
reveal the
don't
truth.
care.
The true enemy
think
of
this is to
humanity
match-
disorder.
Yeah, it's a hitbox on the sphere. And then just a dot
True
for
self.
Zen.
Is without form.
Because you want to be a little more accurate and not rely on the side. And I think that's also why I will change the one for Lucia. Yeah, so that's all crosshairs there. So we have how to find your sensitivity, how to find your crosshairs. Let's go a little more into dodging. So dodging a shot is pretty easy. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can do the jump spam. And this causes a problem because you have to aim down as you're jumping. And this was something that I originally started doing and I had to kind of stop. Yeah, and you're just jumping everywhere, bunny hop. Likelihood against high level players, they won't be able to hit you as easily. And it's because they get used to crouch spammers. And the crouch spam is basically doing this. And the idea behind it is if someone's trying to shoot you, you're boom, ducking, boom, ducking, boom, ducking. And that's why you want to aim for the neck, is because if people do that, then you have a good chance of still hitting if they duck. So it's pretty nice. And if they duck, you would usually actually hit them in the head. So pretty nice there. There's 2 characters you do not want to aim for the neck that often. And it's Hanzo and Widow, and it's just because you just want to hit the shot.
Redemption.
And then of course Widow.
One shot.
You want to get that headshot. The neck, you'll more likely hit the neck than the actual head. So you want the head because you can also see the contrast as well. So you can see the contrast above it. So you want a little bit above the head, but technically aiming towards the head. So there's that. Crouch spam again. I have it bound to my mouse, one of my mouse buttons. So I just spam this. It's pretty nice if you're in a 1v1. Let me see if I can actually... Hold on. Let's go ahead and go into a... Create... Settings, maps, none. Let's pick Blizzworld. Add AI. Lucio. 1. Easy. Second. Let's add him. Okay. So we're just gonna 1v1 this Lucio and talk about accuracy and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the chat, or in the comments. I'll be answering them. So yeah, here we go. Come on, shoot me. Shoot me. Can't hit me. So yeah, this would basically be a fight. How the fight would work. So I will actually jump in between firing. And this is just to kind of adjust and get better shots out of it. I don't know if a hard Lucio is a good. Let's try this hard Lucio. Confirm. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Let's see how this goes. See if we can hit a shot better. Also, crouch spamming is pretty good because people can't hear you if you crouch spam. So you can actually technically do this and you'll move faster than if you're only crouching and people still can't hear you. So that's if they are actually using their headsets. So you can actually flank by doing this. And I technically only crouch spam, and if you see also, my crosshairs are bouncing, and they don't bounce as much when I crouch. So, pretty nice there. Yeah, it's just a lot of dodging. Widowmaker. Let's go to Widowmaker. And I mean, like I said, for practicing, I suggest doing hit scan, just because, and I'll show you.
One shot.
If you're doing like Hanzo, you need to lead your target, and you need to be above the target, and so what happens is you're more predicting, and if you do hit a shot and you have bad accuracy, it's more likely because of almost blind luck. And so you don't want to be comparing how well you're doing based off of the blind luck you have. Ah, see, I suck. There we go. God, it took me forever.
Interested in card trading? Head to the Gilded Road for our weekly collector's meetup.
So yeah, so I think I open this up to questions. Of course, the sensitivity guide was, well, accuracy guide was highly requested. I think the biggest thing out of all of it is accuracy in itself is one of like the last things you want to try on, mainly just because most of the time it's position and stuff. The only reason why accuracy can be a downfall is if you really have bad accuracy, and so that causes problems, because then you can't even play Winston right. And so pretty nice there. So yeah, we adjusted our sensitivity, showed how to adjust sensitivity to the right one, showed how to really practice. Good ways to practice overall. Don't use the Autobots, mainly just because they don't accurately represent the movement of an actual character, and so you'll have problems because they don't really strafe. I tend to just use the practice range bots, just to get
No one can
calibrated
hide
in,
from my
because you don't have to really
sight.
try too hard on that. There is programs out there to test your sensitivity, but overall, the bottom line is just play an actual game, quick play or deathmatch. Deathmatch is a good one. It's pretty nice. Ah. Oh my gosh, I suck. I suck.
Adieu.
I think we should cover other things with Overwatch recently. Sombra. I did think of one idea of what if you played Sombra like you used to, but instead of putting your translocator by a health pack and hacking a health pack, you put the translocator by your supports and don't hack your own supports. And the idea is you'll basically be a bullet sponge for the supports, and the bottom line is you'll be able to take hits, go back to supports, the supports heal you, and also peel for your supports if needed. So that was just one idea I came up with. I think it's pretty good for the Sombra. Other stuff, Brigitte, some things I did notice. Some things I did notice is her healing's actually not that bad than what my original reaction was. I won't say it's a viable main healer. I'd basically put it under the same scope of Lucio and Zen. I imagine in cases her and Lucio only can slightly work. But I would almost want to put them with Zen together. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Of course I'm terrible. Screw it. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff with Brigitte. I also noticed that if you have good reaction time, you can completely dominate. And some of the things that, like, I streamed yesterday, playing pretty much Brigitte only, and that was pretty interesting because a lot of the times I could completely cancel ultimates, and it was quote unquote completely disgusting. Just because I think I have one clip of a Roadhog on the other team ulting, walking across the bridge to the second point on Hanamura. And that was hilarious because I actually booped him off the side, so he kind of fell into the side pit thing. Didn't die, but had to stay there to live out his rest of his ultimate days. So that was kind of funny. Just because you have to sit in there, and then I think right afterwards I actually stunned the Moira out of her ult, so I canceled 2 ults at once. It was kind of weird. Then the next one, I think I canceled the Moira ult and knocked the Reinhardt off the side, so that was pretty nice. Other things as well, and it's something I'm covering, is if I remember right, it's if
I needed that.
that changed. Holy cow. That was updated. I just realized that's a small health pack. It used to be a large health pack, and now it's a small health pack. If you knew. Yeah, so shooting where you think you're going to hit first. So if we get this Lucio to like 1 health, or kill him, what you can actually just do is just like body shot him. It's easier to hit the body, and you know you're going to kill him either way. So that's just Widowmaker facts. All that kind of fun stuff. I think I'm almost done for the day. If we have any questions or stuff like that,
Damn.
I can answer them. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was pretty interesting. Oh, this is also a good tool for just training. Granted, not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, so once you get good at hit scan accuracy, that's when you can start doing more projectile-based characters. And that's if you're really bad. So don't worry about tainting your accuracy overall. So
Much better.
Want to see some real
just some things to
to the wizard,
notice and not worry too much about.
but beware. Repeated visits can become addictive.
Oh, I'm terrible.
Oh.
Ah. Let's try. Oh, that should have hit him actually. That should have hit him. Okay, that was off. I am terrible. Sometimes you just end up panicking too much, and then you miss. That's the thing as well. Also, if I remember right, just because of like input
needed
lag and the time in which you press down on your mouse, it's sometimes better to aim before, kind of like pre-aim kind of a way. And that was actually yeah, my ping's going up, so that's a sign that I think we're almost done, because it's constantly going up now.
No one can hide from
So that's
my
entertaining.
sight.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Almost at a full hour, so pretty funny. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. I think that's it for the day. Whoa. Just had a weird thing pop up that kind of messed up my screen. Kind of like a weird blacked out screen. It was kind of weird. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. So everyone, if you're on Twitch and you're watching, or on YouTube, thanks for watching. Of course, and like, subscribe, comment if you're on YouTube. Subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all of my playbacks. If you're on Twitch watching this, go check out my YouTube, and let me post it in the...
Corrupted blood corn. Share it with a
Let
friend
me do the
today.
command in chat. So yeah, if you want to see playbacks of all my old ones, go to there. We did talk about the pressure mechanic a while ago, and I think it's like the third one. It's called pressure. Gosh, I'm terrible. It's called pressure, and so the idea is that anything a widow can see, she can hit. And so she exerts a pressure in areas. And so you don't want to be in that area because there's a likelihood that she can kill you. So that's a lot of the stuff with pressure there. So Yeah, and so check that out. If you are also on YouTube, go ahead and follow me on Twitch, because that's the best way to get notifications of me going live. Tried doing a YouTube notification thing, and it was just, it was funky. And it doesn't always post correctly, and so I think the best way is for people to be following. So it's gonna be nice. So yeah, thanks everyone. And I guess I'm signing out. Bye.